You gotta wait for it.
You're on.
Do I have the volume up? There it is. It makes you feel like Madden all over again, baby. Imagine this, Joe Lozier. You're 10 years old. You just got Madden 2005. Who's on the cover? None other than Donovan McNabb. And you go home and you boot up Madden. And what do you hear? This angelic tune to greet you. What do we hear now, Joe?
Oh, gosh. We can't even say it.
It's on mute, bro. It's on mute. I haven't played Madden with the sound on in goddamn 5 years. Madden over. Andrew WK, thank you for bringing us into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We might be in 4K for the first time in the history of mankind. Okay? We were not proud of our product. We did not post last week's show because it was not something that me and Joe Lozier want to get out there to the masses, the cognoscentes. Okay? So therefore, we're back in 4K. We got Andrew WK, and we got my co-host, the one, the only, Joe Lozier. Joe, say welcome to the people.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me, Clay. For all of you who don't know what you should do, go down to the bottom down there, and you like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Do it even if you don't like it. Give a shout-out to some folks that give mild fantasy advice, and they mostly just poop on the rest of the members of their fantasy league. This is my vanity show, ladies and gentlemen. I completely understand that. But in it, Joe Lozier, which I think is something that you have come to find out yourself, there is some nuggets of information. Beautiful nuggets of information in there, sandwiched like a meatball.
Ooh. Speaking of nuggets of information, can I tell the people about our unofficial sponsor?
Please do, JoJo.
The Kiss of the Devil, Fireball itself. Unofficial sponsor. Don't sue us. Also, if you want to be our official sponsor, please do. And then we wouldn't have to worry about being sued.
Now in 4K. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the program, this is practically the commissioner's recap show for my fantasy league, Joe's fantasy league, our friend's fantasy league. It's practically just an excuse for me to get drunk, talk to my best friend, drink my unofficial sponsor, Fireball, and tell you how great a fantasy football I am, even when I'm doing bad. Is that accurate, Joe?
Yeah, for sure.
Bingo! So that's going to get us right into this, ladies and gentlemen. We have a timestamp from my producer, Joe, on this. We got to keep it below 30 minutes, and that's what we're going to do. It's the major minute recap. We got our first game of the week. We're going to start out with Rub My Chub with Bijan Mustard. Was 2-0 going in this matchup. First place going against the worst team in the league, 0-2 Love Train. And ladies and gentlemen, would you guess what happened? We got with our hands down, damn it. Okay? We lost to 127 to 144. Tough game. It was the closest game of the week, though, so I do have that to tip my hat on. My best showing, my players-wise, were 2 at 31 and my Pittsburgh defense at 22. Those are the only people I had over 20 points this week. The fact that I held in there that strong with those two as my tops, pretty impressive. My most disappointing, I had 4 players below 10 with Bijan, the one remaining member of my team in my name, not by choice, circumstance, happenstance. I like when people use that word, Joe, happenstance.
You're the only one.
Okay. Well, hither, moving forward, I'm going to be using that a lot more. Commish falls to 2-1, currently in 4th place. If the playoffs ended today,
which they don't,
I would still be in them. Love Train's most impressive on the day was Justin Herbert coming in at 30.5. Debo with 24. That's Debo has 2 or 3 games a year where he blows up. This is the one where he wanted to do that, I guess. Justin Jefferson coming in clutch with 29. That was a good game for him. And also Ewan McPherson. Okay. I always call him Ewan, never call him by his real name, his God-given name, name that his mother gave him, Evan. There's no need to. Not now, not ever. It's Ewan McPherson. Do you prefer that name better, Joe?
It's the only time I ever hear his name called that. So why not? Let's roll with it.
If we ever get interviews on the show, Joe Lozier, if we ever get big enough, Ewan McPherson is going to be my first.
Yes.
Former Florida kicker. I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
So
or not.
that's 2. Joe, in this one, you had me, I had me. We both failed. We're coming into the predictions, by the way, complete opposite records. I'm 3-1. You're 1-3. We now both fall to 0-1 this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having confidence in me, Joe. Next matchup here, we got the Thielen up your cousins, 1-1, 7th place going into this, losing to the Dirty Randys, the surprising Dirty Randys. Worst team last year. A huge upstart this year. I think he's got the best running back room in the league. Second, or I'm second, I think. I think my running back room is still strong. I just keep adding them, baby. Keep adding them. Keep feeding it. Where's Zeke? Dirty Randys, that was 104 to 158. Huge deficit.
I got a hot take.
Yeah.
Dirty Randy's team and early success could very directly be related to the lack of shrooms that were taken on draft night this time.
Yeah, he actually put an effort in, he said.
He what?
He actually put an effort in, he said.
Yeah. That is noticed. Dirty Randy. Great job. Continue. Sorry for interrupting. Thank you.
Oh, good. I like that insight right there. Thielen's most impressive was, Joe, hold on to your butts, Kirk Cousins at 30 points. However, his most disappointing in this, Derrick Henry at 2.5, T.E. Higgins 3.10, and 2 others below 10 as well. That makes Andrew dropping down to 1 and 2. Not a good look. He is currently in last place in the league right now, Andrew. 1 and 2, 8th place. Dirty Randy's, your most impressive is going to be Pat Mahomes at 26 and the Philly D at 21. You look at that and you're like, hey, what's going on here? Those aren't it's not a lot of impressive list. How did he score that much? Well, the team was pretty consistent. His most disappointing was Tyler Lockett, who had 6.9 when he had DK Metcalf on the bench for 16.20. Can you believe that? And the Walrus, 3.5 points. But those were the only 2 players below 10 points for Dirty Randy's, and that's how he got the win today in this week. That advances him to 2-1 in second place now. Man, what a turnaround.
Yeah.
Joe, who did you have in this game?
I think I had Andrew.
Yep, you certainly did, sir. That makes you 0-2. While I had Mason. I believe in an underdog story. I believe in the comebacks. Like that bartender teacher that I don't know which one he was of the 2 that played for the Eagles back in the 70s. Mark Wahlberg was his name.
Mark Wahlberg.
The 4 o'clock games, ladies and gentlemen. We had Chase D's at 1-1, 4th place, taking down their trade partners from 2 weeks ago, Brees Lightning, who was 1-1, 6th place going in this game. Final score was 130 to 112. Very respectable game. Chase D's, your most impressive was Jalen Hurts, Jamar Chase, and Zach Moss. Also, side note next to Zach Moss. Say what? Did you see this coming from Zach Moss?
You mean when I picked him up off the waivers?
Yeah, it wasn't waivers. It was after the waivers that processed, Joe. Do not try to fool the people like that. You kind of looked into it.
I chose him.
Yes. Like the blind squirrel chooses the nut on the ground. Joe, are you worried that when Jonathan Taylor comes back into the picture that Zach Moss will not be a factor anymore?
I don't know. I'm not going to say worried. I'm interested to see how that plays out. Is he able to perform? Does he get traded? Does the front office affect his game time and snaps and touches and all that in case of a future trade? I'm not sure. I'm really interested to see how it's going to play out.
Well, so far it's paying out dividends for you, huge dividends. He got you 26.5. Your most disappointing was who else but Josh, I'm not a girl, Kelly, who once again, Joe, I think this is 2 weeks in a row, he's got you under 5 points. This time was even worse at a whopping 2.5.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert, your main tight end going into this, man, I'm jumping in a little bit, but I have to know this. Your number 1 waiver priority this week was
Tank Dell. Oh, no, is Devon. H-Chan.
I thought it was Sam Laporta, based on your roster. I would have had Sam Laporta up there for you.
No, it was Devon H-Chan.
Ooh, yeah, that sucks. Right before you, huh? Oh, we'll get to that, ladies and gentlemen. That's called foreshadowing showbiz. The writer strike's over, so Hollywood's back, and we got the material in the sack. Okay. Taste these. You keep climbing. Okay. 2-1, third place on the year. So if the playoffs ended today,
But they don't.
you're definitely being it, sir. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Brees is most impressive. He had Jonathan Allen got 24 points. Tyreek Hill killing it. My God, there's not one player in our league that I would want more on my team than Tyreek Hill. 30.7 points this week. Your most disappointing, Mahendra, was you had 5 below 10, including your running back, your 2 wide receivers, and a tight end. Not going to win those weeks with that happening in those spots. You're going to fall to 1 and 2 on the year in 7th place. Joe, I will have to apologize to you. I had Mahendra winning this one. I was wrong. You had yourself. You were right. Not the most humbling of picks, but nonetheless, it paid off in the long run.
That makes us both 1 and 2 on the week.
Yes.
Let's get to America's Game of the Week of the Year of the Century game.
It is now time, if you're new to the program, for America's Fantasy Football Game of the Week of the Year of the Century game. This.
Excuse me.
I thought you had like one of those gizmos, like a wazoo. Is that what they call it? A wazoo? I thought you were doing all the wazoo. I was like, dude, that is impressive. Let's see here. Boner Pills, 1-1 this week. Take 5th place, taking on their arch rival. They absolutely had butt sex with them too. It was fantasy fraudsters, messiahs maybe. They came 1-1 entering this as well. They were in 5th place. They lost 192 to 169, the highest scoring game of the week. And Jonathan walks away as the highest scoring team of the league year. Outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most impressive in this one, Bills defense got 49 for Boner Pills. Lamar Jackson got you 31. Keenan Allen went off 39 points. Most disappointing, you had 3 players below 10, but all of them were above 8.5. So overall, outstanding game for you. Boner Pills shoots to first place at 2-1. Moving on to the fantasy fraudsters, what they did right and what they did wrong. But nobody really cares because they're fraudsters. Okay. Their most impressive was Raheem Mustard, however you want to call him. 44. Jordan Love, a late Sunday addition. He is now harboring 3 quarterbacks on his roster.
I saw that. That's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if that pays off for him.
You stole my line. Just about to say that. Devontae Adams got you 38. Huge game. Chiefs defense also made this list. I forgot to include their score. Just know it was over 20 points. I think it was 22. You only had 4 players below 10, but 2 of them were 4.8 and a 3-point burger. Can't have that. That's why you fall to 1 and 2, below 500, but you're still in 5th place, 1 away from the playoffs. So I guess, you're the best loser, if you want to look at it that way. Loser. In this game, me and Joe both picked Daniel. Joe, we were both wrong. So brings our season standings. I'm 4-4, and you are 2-6.
Okay.
It's a game within a game. That moves us on to waiver wires, ladies and gentlemen. Boner Pills. They dropped Mike Williams, RIP, and they added Adam Thielen, Andrew's namesake, off the board. Yes.
Mike Williams. Give us a break. Dude, every single year. Every year. You break my heart. You take my CD in broad daylight and you scrapped it.
That's why I don't touch him, Joe. That's why I tell everybody fantasy football advice, don't touch Mike Williams.
But he went off right before he tore his ACL again.
Yeah, so was Nick Chubb. Before he blew out his knee again. No, I kid. Great guy.
That was college.
So anyway, and then he added the immortal Adam freaking Thielen.
He used his top waiver priority for Thielen?
Yes, with some bigger names out there, ladies and gentlemen. Joe, in the next news, we have a surprise move by you. Oh, shit, I forgot to add who you picked up. That's on me. You dropped DJ Moore. I was pretty surprised about that. DJ Moore has been dropped. Who did you add?
Well, Tank Dell, but he wasn't. You're not, clearly not going in order of the waiver priority.
No, I don't. Do you want me to? Would that be better?
Well, it just like for the listeners who are about to like and subscribe, they probably think that I chose Tank Dell over who you got.
Okay, so we're doing a rewind here. Right after boner pills. The next waiver wire, we had Brees Lightning. They dropped Jerome Ford and picked up Sam Laporta. Great move. Not going to knock that. I think he's going to be a top 6 fantasy tight end this year, guaranteed. And then you dropped Dalton Schultz and picked up Tyjae Spears. I might have kept Ford instead of Spears. Not too sure what you're thinking there. And I mean, just all around, I can't say I blame you. Laporta and, David Akon, that's going to be a hard pick. But you have to pick one of them, and whoever is behind you in waivers is going to benefit from what you don't choose. So who is behind you, you may ask, ladies and gentlemen? That's none other than the commissioner. Let's go, Joe Lozier. We got another waiver wire win for your old commish. That's where we win seasons. That's where we win championships. Your commissioner added Devin A-Chain. Not the A-Train, but A-Chain. That's how he wanted to be called, right?
No.
Okay, that's what he will be. I dropped Chris Godwin. Right? Good thing my strategy, which everybody laughed at, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, one of them has to blow up. Those were my exact words at the draft, was it not, Joe?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we found out who it was. We found out that one person's a fraud. The highest paid player on the Buccaneers offense barely has 100 yards in 3 games.
That was actually not your hot take, if I may. Your hot take was they're both going to blow up, and I'm going to trade one of them away.
I'm ever the optimist, Joe. So Chris Godwin is now gone, and that sucks. David A-Chain, ladies and gentlemen, dropped to 7th in the waiver wire picks, which sucks because do you know who was in 8th place who could really use probably a great league-winning running back? Oh, man, you hate to do it to him. Chase Dees.
Yeah.
You dropped DJ Moore, and you picked up Tank Dell because you were out of the David A-Chain game.
His name's not – okay. Now you're just trolling.
David 2 Chains? You want me to call him 2 Chains? You not like A? Does A make him sound bad, like less of a man? Like I call him
His name's Devon. It's spelled like Davin, but it's pronounced Devon. He just wants to tell you that your team is ridiculous.
Davon 4 tutties. That's what I'm calling him. Because that's what he is, all right? Joe, I like how we both picked up a Texans wide receiver in back-to-back weeks. Hopefully they can both blow up, right, boy?
Yeah, with their rookie quarterback and their terrible O-line. But hey, YOLO.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the 3 P's segment, the previews, predictions, and pretentiousness, I would like to thank our sponsor, Fireball, again. Maybe the last time, maybe it's not. But you can never not see enough of it, okay? It just it smells like heaven. It smells like heaven. There's nothing smoother.
Yeah,
Joe,
that smells like death.
Let's get this down, and we're going to kill the segment and get out of here. All right. Moving on. We have the Love Train in 6th place. 1 and 2 going against the Brees Lightning. Also 1 and 2, 7th place. Not the most exciting game to watch that you're probably clamoring for, but nonetheless, good matchup. Some storylines going in this one. I like to call this the which team will make it to the 500. The somebody's got to winnable. Like that. No buys this week. That's going to be a common occurrence here going through this. The projected winner was Brees Lightning, 123, to Love Train's 117. Joe, with that being said, who do you got?
I got Tuna. Who do you have?
I have the same goddamn thing, sir. But this time Mahendra teams up on us and says, screw your little stupid sandwich bet you got with your predictions records. I'm about to tear shit up.
I like Tuna's got some really soft matchups this week.
Yeah, no, they are juicy. They are juicy.
Yeah.
Talking about soft matchups, our next matchup, gentlemen, feeling up your cousins, 1 and 2, the Caboose, number 8th place of our league. And he's a former champion, ladies and gentlemen. Me and him were co-champions last year. It's a little embarrassing to say that we're co-champions because, I mean, look how he's doing, look how I'm doing. Am I right, Joe?
What a cuck naming your team after a player sitting on your opponent's bench.
Oh, yes, and another storyline. He's going against the man that picked up his namesake. Feeling up your cousins, takes on the Boner Pills, who are 2 and 1 in first place. You have the matchup of the best and the matchup of the worst. Nobody wants to watch this. This is why we put in the 1 o'clock section. Storylines, Andrew looking to pull off the upset of the year so far, which would be incredible. I think maybe bigger than Tuna's last week because Tuna's a respectable coach. When things get rough, he kind of pulls through, unlike Andrew. He gets a little frazzled. Joe, am I boring you?
No, I'm looking at the matchup while you're going.
Thank you. I thought you were looking up other stuff. It's like, what the hell?
I'm looking up the matchup.
Storyline for Boner Pills going in this. They're looking to maintain the number 1 seed. Once again, there's no buys. Projecting winner in this one's 124. Feeling up your cousins at 112. It's the biggest point difference in the league this week. With that being said, Joe, I'm going to give you my prediction first, and I'm going straight with Boner Pills.
Yeah, me too. His matchups are also pretty juicy.
John's got a great team.
Yeah. He's got a great team, and he's got some great opponents this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 4 o'clock games, ladies and gentlemen. I decide these games in a certain order, and you'll see why. The main event's coming up. But this is the 4 o'clock game. This is America's game of the week that you might catch on Fox or some other lowly news network like that. That's not us.
Yeah.
But yeah. 4 o'clock games. We got the Dirty Randies, 2 and 1, second place, taking on the Fantasy Fraudsters, also known as the Fantasy Messiahs. Even though they haven't won anything in like 3 goddamn years. So why he still has a super name, I don't know. He's 1 and 2 in 5th place. Storylines. Can Mason continue his white hot start to the season? Can Daniel survives if he falls to 1 and 3? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think he can. I think he doesn't have a shot of a chance. If he goes to 1 and 3, his season's over. Kicking the can. Trade Travis Kelce to me immediately. No buys this week. Projections: Dirty Randies to win at 125. The Fantasy Fraudsters are at 122. JoJo, you want to give your predictions? Yeah. You go first.
I have a different. I have it Dirty Randy's 125 and Fantasy Messiah 128. Actually,
changed it. He knew he could get it in before the showtime. That dirty.
Yeah. But I'm still going with Mason.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Wow, I was like, Mason, come through for me, please.
We're either losing together this week, Joe, or we're winning everything together this week. But I think we're going to have a matchup that's going to divide us coming up here. And everyone's favorite time slot, the America's Fantasy Football Week of the Year, the Century Game. You won't believe how many exclamation points that is to type on.
That's so you have Mason as well?
Yeah, I got Dirty Randies. Did I not say that?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I got you. I got Dirty Randies.
All right. America's Game of the Week of the Century of the Year game. Okay.
Earlier, Joe, we have Rub My Chub with Bijan Mustard, 2 and 1, 4th place, going against Chase These Players from Clay's team from last year. I look at your team and it's just, oh man, it's a sweet memory of my beautiful championship team I had. My quarterback's there. My 2 stud wide receivers are there. Oh man, Joe, it brings me back good memories. Yeah, it's true. You're 2 and 1 in 3rd place on the year. Storylines. Can Commish, yours truly, can I rebound after a tough, heartbreaking loss last week to arch rival Tuna? Although I would say you're more of a rival than Tuna, Joe. This game means more to me than me and Tuna's game. On every inclination, by the way. I hope you know that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Normally, I get in there and redo the schedule. But this year, I said Nah, I'm going to let the cards lay. So here we are. We have a primetime matchup, SEC versus ACC. Joe's best versus Clay's best. This is what we wanted to see since 6th grade, and this is what we're getting in the year of our Lord 2023 with our best fantasy football players we can, minus Clay, who has no Nick Chubb.
And minus Joe, who has no Saquon Barkley.
Chase D's, you're projected at 122. I'm projected at 112. However, there is a caveat. For some reason, NFL.com does not project Jake Moody's points. Like, he just does not exist. Like, they don't expect him to go out there to make a field goal.
No, so, they have him at 7, and they have you at 115.5.
Well, that's better than what I said, Joe, so that's pretty damn close. 115.
But you're still going to lose.
He's right.
Oh, well, okay. So let's just get ready to pick. I'm going to pour a shot fireball. I'm going to let you do a little spiel. You tell me who you got in this matchup.
I don't need to do a spiel. It's pretty cut and dry. Joe's going to 3-1, and Clay's going to find himself at 500 for the last time this season.
Are we? Are us? Oh, no, John is also.
Yeah, John's the last player.
So it's us 3. And
Joe, hey, I'm going to have to get back to you later out there, studio audience. Thank you, sir. That being said, Joe, I do appreciate your take. You're going with you, right? I heard that correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Bingo. Well, Joe, this next man I'm going to pick to take this game, I think, is a man of integrity. He's a good man. He's going against a great competitor, class act competitor. I just compiled competitor and predator together.
So you picked me because I'm going against you, you little predator?
I picked Joe Lozier in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Joe, we are writing shit down together. Predictions have all been the exact same. So this is going to be great. This is incredible on this. I could have picked myself in my own matchup. What kind of monster do you think I am?
Question. Are you gonna start the Dolphins quarterback, running back, and wide receiver this week?
Question. Did the Dolphins put up 70 points last week against the Denver Broncos defense?
Oh my god. Oh my god. They single-handedly extended red zones every touchdown shown by like 4 minutes.
I want all that I can get out of that beautiful key lime pie down there in Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our show. Let's see if I can get Andrew WK back here. I think I can. Let's do it. That's it. I've been your commissioner, your host, Clay Major. This has been my co-host, Joe Lozier. Joe, what do you want to tell the people before we sign off here?
Well, thanks for having us. And if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Even if you didn't enjoy, don't matter. Just like. And then, if you want to subscribe, cool. But just like it. But if you like it, subscribe. Let's go.
And the next time you have a party or any kind of get-together, you want to watch Clay Major's team beat Joe Lozier's team in the gridiron, then make sure to grab yourself a fireball, get around with your friends. Nothing brings the memories together like fireball or lack thereof. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show. We are posting this one for sure. We're at your 4K, and we will see you next week. Joe, sign us out of here.
Good night.